Hi, welcome to Story Time with Nana. I have a great story for you today. I'm very excited. I, I can't wait. Let's begin. A bike ride to remember. The rooster from the chicken coop woke Tony and Emma, just like clockwork. The children quickly made their beds and headed downstairs. Good morning, my loves. We have scrambled eggs for breakfast today, Grandma told them. Do they have cheese in them? Asked Tony. Of course they do, Tony, she said. Now go have a seat. I made some blueberry jam for our toast. Emma and Tony sat at the table with Granddad while Grandma finished making the scrambled eggs. What do you think about going for a bike ride today? Asked Granddad. You have bikes? Asked Emma. Sure we do. Grandma and I usually take a bike ride into town once or twice a week. I found two bikes for you at a garage sale, he told them. I would really like to go on a bike ride, said Tony. Are we going into town? Sure, we can ride around here first and then head into town, Grandma told the children. That sounds like lots of fun, Grandma, piped in Emma. I want to see if there's any other kids that have moved in yet. Me too, said Tony. Well, then that's it, Granddad said. We'll head out in a little while. Grandma served the scrambled eggs and they were very cheesy, just like Tony liked them. Emma slathered the blueberry jam on her toast and it was wonderful. And after breakfast, the children helped Grandma clean up and then went to change for their bike riding adventure. Emma, we get to take our bikes through the covered bridge, said Tony. I wonder if it'll be scary. No, Tony, it won't be scary, she answered. We'll be with Granddad and Grandma. I know, but doesn't it go over water? Well, yes, but we'll be safe. Don't worry, we'll be fine. It's going to be so much fun. When Emma and Tony came down, Grandma and Granddad were waiting. Emma, we put a basket on your bike so you can bring baby Mila, Granddad told her. Oh, thanks, Granddad, Emma said. She ran back upstairs and collected baby Mila from her baby crib. Okay, said Grandma, just a few rules. Granddad will lead the way, and if he says, single file, then that means a car is coming and we're to get over as far as possible into a single line. And that's about it. Now, once we cross over the covered bridge, there's a bike path just inside the woods, Granddad told him. And then, if you want to go ahead of us, you can. Once outside, the children saw their bikes. Granddad had painted Emma's a sparkly purple and it had a yellow basket with purple flowers. Oh, Granddad, I love my bike. Thank you, she said and gave him a big hug. Tony's bike was bright green with a blue basket that had yellow lightning bolts on it. Wow, look at my bike. I have a basket too. Thanks, Granddad. All of the bikes had matching helmets hanging on the handlebars. Let's make sure they are comfortable for you to ride, Granddad told them. Hop on, Tony. Let's see if we need to adjust your seat. Tony hopped on the bike. It looks like you have grown a bit. Let's lift that seat up some. So while Granddad adjusted Tony's seat, Emma tried out her bike, and it fit just right. Grandma and Granddad helped the children put on their helmets and then put theirs on too. Okay, let's all follow Granddad, Grandma said, getting onto her bike. Before we head into town, how about we ride down this way and see if there is anyone else renting the cabins? Granddad made a right out of the driveway with Emma and Grandma and Tony following behind. They passed the Crabapples cabin, but it didn't look like anybody was home. The next cabin was empty too. Hey, Granddad, when are these people moving in? Asked Tony, pointing to the empty cabin. Well, I think they're coming in today, but I'm not sure what time though. Oh, I can't wait to meet them, Tony said. They rode past the next cabin, and there was a car parked in that driveway, but no one was outside. Maybe they were out on the lake, Tony thought. Across the street from that cabin was a small playground. It was empty, too. They continued on down the road, but there weren't any more cabins, just woods on either side of the road. But soon the woods thinned out and they could see the water from the lake, and then they saw an enormous house. It was the biggest house they had ever seen. "Who lives there, Grandma?" asked Emma. "Well, that's the Edmund house," she said. "They used to own all of the land from town to the water," she told her. "And then they sold off bits and pieces of the land. That's how we got our cabin and the one the Crabapples are staying in. They got enough money to move out of their cabin and build this big house right here on the water. Every year they have a big Father's Day party and they invite everyone from town." "Wait, you own the cabin next door?" Tony asked. "Well, yes, we do. That's how we could retire here," said Granddad. "It's kind of like our job, only it's right next door." "How about we turn around here and head into town?" Granddad said. "Yeah, that sounds like a great idea," said Tony, and he took the turn really hard and almost ran into Grandma. "Ma!" "Tony, be careful, you almost knocked me over," said Grandma. "Sorry, Grandma," he answered. "I was pretending I was going around a curve on a motorcycle." "I think we can wait on a motorcycle for you for a little while," she said. Emma and Tony followed along behind Grandma and Granddad back the way they came, and soon they passed their cabin. "Single file!" yelled out Granddad, and everyone lined up behind Granddad just in time for an old pickup truck to pass them. And it wasn't before long before they came to the covered bridge. "Emma, I'm scared," said Tony as they neared the bridge. "Tony, it's okay," she said reassuringly. "Cars go over this bridge all the time. We don't weigh as much as a car. Can I go in front of you just in case?" "Yes, I'll keep an eye on you," Emma told him. "You'll be fine. Granddad and Grandma are here. They would never let anything happen to us." Tony rode in front of Emma and behind Grandma and entered the covered bridge, and the street became wooden slats, and the ride was bumpy. "Whee!" called out Tony. "The ride is bumpy!" Granddad turned and told Emma and Tony that once they crossed the bridge, they needed to follow him. "We're going to follow the bike path now." Granddad turned right as he exited off the bridge, and Grandma, Emma, and Tony followed. Soon they were riding on a path in the woods. Tony and Emma could see the road through the woods. "Wow, this is so cool," called out Tony. "I know," answered Emma. "We're riding bikes in the woods. Let's pretend like we're running wolves running through the woods. I'm going to be a big gray wolf with blue eyes running through the woods," Tony told Emma. "Okay, Tony, I'm going to be a little black wolf with green eyes, and Mila's going to be my baby wolf. She looks just like me." Tony and Emma became wolves and ran behind Grandma and Granddad. "Howl! Coming through!" yelled out Tony as he passed Grandma and Granddad. "Howl! Me too!" called out Emma as she passed her grandparents. Grandma and Granddad laughed as their grandchildren passed them. Tony and Emma continued their bike ride on the path in the woods, pretending to be fierce wolves running like the wind. "Hang on, baby Mila!" yelled out Emma. "Don't fall out!" Screech! All of a sudden, Tony skidded to a stop. "Whoa!" called out Emma. "Tony, I almost ran into you. Why'd you stop?" "Look," he said. "What is that?" He was pointing into the woods. "I don't know," answered Emma. Grandma and Granddad caught up and looked to where Tony was pointing. "Oh, that's an old fireplace," Granddad told them. "A fireplace?" asked Emma. "Why is it in the middle of the woods? Where is the house?" "Well, remember that big house by the lake?" asked Grandma. "Yes. Well, before they built that house, They lived here. They wanted to be closer to the water. Didn't they want to take their fireplace? Asked Tony. I mean, they took everything but the fireplace. No, Tony, they didn't take the rest of the house with them, answered Grandma. The old house just broke down and fell apart. But see, the bricks for the fireplace withstood time and weather. That's why it's still standing. Can we go look at it? Asked Tony. Not today, but I think we can work something out in a day or two, Granddad told him. Okay, let's head into town. Up ahead the path is going to start opening up and we'll be riding alongside the road on a bike path right into town. And sure enough, just like Granddad said, the woods opened up and they were riding along the road. They passed the big church and soon they could see the shops lining the road. Where are we going? Asked Emma. 3 places, said Granddad. First, to the Five and Dime. Grandma wants to get some fabric, and then after that, we'll get something for lunch. That's only 2 places, said Tony. You said 3 places. Oh, the last place is a surprise, Granddad answered. So Grandma, Granddad, Emma, and Tony rode their bikes to the Five and Dime. The children loved this store. It had a little bit of everything. Grandma went right to the fabrics and started looking them over. The children and Granddad just walked around looking at everything. Hey, look at this, called out Tony. Ooh, that's so pretty, said Emma. What is it? Why, that's a dream catcher, answered Granddad. I'll bet that would look nice up in the loft. It also keeps bad dreams away. What? How does it do that? Asked Emma. It's believed that bad dreams enter through the night and try to fill your head, Granddad started. But if you have a dream catcher, it catches the bad dreams and keeps them away. Can we get it for the loft? Tony asked. Just in case. Sure. It might even give Grandma another idea for a crafting project, he said. Grandma finished getting her fabric and they headed out to lunch at the diner on the corner. They were famous for their grilled cheese sandwiches, and they each had one and a tall glass of lemonade. This is the best grilled cheese I ever had, said Emma. Me too, Tony told her. It's so cheesy. After lunch, they walked along the shops. So, Granddad said, how does ice cream sound? Yay! Cried out Emma and Tony. They walked 2 shops down and entered the ice cream parlor. The place was filled with people having ice cream. Hi, Emma. Hi, Tony, called out Della. She was sitting with her family at a small table. Hi, Della. Hi, Lola. Hi, baby Brennan, they answered. Are you here for ice cream too? Asked Lola. Yes, we are, answered Emma. We rode our bikes here. Wow, that sounds like fun, Della replied. Today's my birthday. I got a double scoop of strawberry ice cream with strawberry sauce in a sugar cone bowl. Hey, my birthday was last week. You only got 2 scoops? Asked Tony. Oh, Tony, they're big scoops. And I had strawberry sauce, she answered. Oh, our new neighbors are here too. Come on over and meet them. Della took Emma and Tony's hands and pulled them into the ice cream parlor to another table. Hi, Grayson. Hi, Chase. This is Tony and Emma. They stay in the cabin on the other side of ours, Della told the 2 boys. Hi, they answered. Grandma and Granddad came over and introduced themselves to the boys' parents. Hello. We have the first cabin over the bridge. Our grandchildren are visiting and we're trying to keep them busy. We have something planned for tomorrow if you'd like to tag along, Granddad said. Thank you. That sounds very nice. My name is C.J. Kingston, said Mr. Kingston. Well, we're the Fasons, said Granddad. How about it, boys? Mr. Kingston asked Chase and Grayson. Well, what are you doing? Grayson asked Granddad. Oh, that's a surprise, Granddad said with a smile. We'll meet you at the playground around 11 o'clock tomorrow. Della, go tell your family too. Thanks. I'll go tell my mom and dad. Come on, Lola, let's go tell them we have something to do tomorrow, she said, pulling Lola to their table. Well, it was nice meeting you, Tony said to Grayson and Chase. You too, said Chase. See you tomorrow. Grandma, Granddad, Emma, and Tony walked up to the counter to place their order, which turned out to be 2 scoops of butter pecan for Granddad, 1 scoop of mint chocolate chip dipped in chocolate for Grandma, 3 scoops of chocolate for Tony, and 2 scoops of chocolate dipped in chocolate for Emma. Are you sure you want 3 scoops, Tony? Asked Granddad. I love chocolate ice cream, Granddad. I could eat a mountain of it, he told him. Okay. After ice cream, and Tony did eat all 3 scoops. How it fit in his little belly, nobody knows. They decided they would walk around town a little bit to work off all that ice cream and then head back to their cabin on their bikes. The bike ride home took a little bit longer because they were all stuffed from that lunch and all that ice cream. There was a small shed behind the chicken coop, and Granddad led the way, and one by one he helped guide the bikes inside. They fit in there perfectly. Grandma, Granddad, and the children spent the afternoon playing with the cicada that Tony had bought at Pat and Pete's pit stop on the day they got here. Remember those pickup sticks? It was harder than it looked, but it was a lot of fun. And you know what? Grandma was the best player of all. The children and Grandma made a light salad for dinner. They were still stuffed from lunch and all that ice cream, and they ate on the back porch. And that night, as Grandma read her bedtime story to the children, Granddad hung the dream catcher in between their beds. There will be no bad dreams sneaking up in here, he said, and he gave each child a kiss and went downstairs while Grandma finished her story. Sweet dreams, Grandma said as she kissed Emma and Tony goodnight. Tomorrow is going to be a fun day. And Tony and Emma fell asleep with sweet dreams indeed. They dreamt about ice cream. That's it for this week. I can't wait to get to next week's story. What does Granddad have planned for them? I don't know. Don't forget to share my stories. Remember, we want all kids to listen to them. I hope you enjoyed today's story. I enjoyed telling it. Can't wait to see you next week. Mwah! Bye.